Oh, spooky season has arrived, and in this video we're checking out some spooky levels in some non-spooky games, so here we go. Spooky levels in non-spooky games turn up in quite a few different places. Depends if they're RPGs, JRPGs, racing games, platforming games, shooting games. There's definitely spookiness hidden in some non-spooky places. So first up, we've got Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which are remakes of the original Pokemon games with a slight twist with some elements taken from Pokemon Go. The spooky aspect here is Lavender Town. Lavender Town has this really eerie music everywhere, and in Lavender Town you go in something called the Pokemon Tower, which has been taken over by Team Rocket. But in this large, like, sort of skyscraper shaped building, there's just full of like these gravestones and memorials to different Pokemon, and you battle a lot of ghost type Pokemon there. Also, when you go around the town and you speak to different villagers or the townspeople, they've usually got like a different story to say about a Pokemon, and it's really like unsettling, like why this Pokemon died or why this Pokemon haunts someone. And overall, this is a really unsettling part of overall what is usually considered more uplifting, cheerful, colourful game. So it's definitely very spooky in a non-spooky game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has two spooky levels that I'm going to talk about here. In the battle mode, it has one called Luigi's Mansion. Now this is obviously based off Luigi's Mansion from the game series. I've got more of a look from like maybe the first Luigi's Mansion going on here. It's mainly inspired, isn't quite exactly in the same style as Luigi's Mansion, but it does have some great and spooky music. There's lots of boos flying about. Inside the mansion seems to have like lots of tight corners and a few open areas, but the tight corners really add to like the intensity of the match because you never know who's going to come around the corner, and depends on what mode you're playing. This can be really intense as you try and stay alive, or you're trying to find coins, or trying to hold on to the shrine. Also outside has a gloomy, wet exterior, but overall this level, considering it's a spooky level, is rather lit inside. Now the race version, the Twisted Mansion, also based off Luigi's Mansion, closely more resembles the first Luigi's Mansion game. It has a really spooky outdoor forest. There are like statues that come to life. There's like boos hiding inside. Some really good spooky music here. Definitely a Luigi's Mansion vibe. This is a lot darker and spookier than the battle mode level. There's more dark areas, some spooky libraries. There's an underwater section with skeleton fish flying about. Once again, there's more boos about. There's wobbling moving floors that go up and down, and a really overall combination of these and things to avoid, and sort of like the twisted aspect that you get through the whole level really adds to the unpredictable nature of this course. In Mario Odyssey, the spooky area is called the Ruined Kingdom. It's got very eerie music here, long droning notes and lots of bats flying sounds everywhere. It also has a very big, realistic style looking dragon that you have to fight. This is one of the smaller areas in Mario Odyssey. The ruined castle look that you get and you walk across has a very abandoned castle look of Dark Souls, which is definitely odd and spooky for a Mario game. I just think this realistic looking abandoned castle compared to like Mario and his usual enemies and friends is definitely very eerie, combined with the music and just the general atmosphere that you get from this area. It's just disappointing that it's quite a small area. It'd be nice to see some more stuff with this cool Dark Souls-esque look to it. Super Mario World has several spooky levels, and these are the Boo's Haunted Houses. Later on in the game you get some ghost sunken ships as well. So Boo's Haunted Houses have lots of different puzzles in them. These puzzles vary from replaying certain bits of the level, finding secret hidden doors, and basically just trying to figure out how to get out of the house. It's not as simple as going left to right. So these are like the most puzzle based of all the levels in Super Mario World. This might also be the most memorable of spooky music in Mario games. It definitely has an eeriness and keeps you on edge, and it's generally very spooky for a 2D platforming game. There's lots of boos. They add difficulty of trying to avoid getting trapped by the boos because they only move when you're not looking at them. So when you're trying to run away, they're trying to come closer to you, but if you turn around, they suddenly stop. This level does have various other boos as well. We've got some other types of ghosts. We've got big boos, we've even got a circle of boos as well, which you've got to try and run past. Also, you notice in this video, this particular house has some odd looking green blobs you've got to avoid as well. And in general, I was always glad to make it through the haunted house alive, to get out that last door and run to the final go post. Always felt so good, and it's definitely eerie. Even today, as soon as I hear the music, it is very like, oh, those boo mansions, what a nightmare. The Skylanders Spyro's Adventures Dark Crypt DLC level adds this new spooky level that you can see at the back of the hub world. It adds this unique take. You go through this world, there's like a castle, a maze, there's a few other like door lock puzzles as well, but what the main thing here that adds the spookiness is that it's kind of like all cheery, like the normal like cheery Skylander music. It's kind of like one of the main tracks that usually plays for the cheeriness, but then when you hit these special switches it turns day to night and the music gets all eerie and spooky. There's some spooky houses about. It's mainly an outside level. Now what is special about this level in particular for the puzzle and for Skylanders in general is that when you hit the switch to nighttime, some of the enemies like the armored guards come to life, but the trees go back to normal trees, because in the daytime the trees are alive and they're trying to kill you. So in both the dark world and the light world, there are different types of enemies that want to kill you. So ideally you want to swap to the other world, defeat which enemies you can while they're asleep or still, and vice versa. There's also some puzzles as well, some moving blocks, some move in the day and then at night time they're all still. So you just have to figure out the combination there. Overall I like it. It doesn't feel particularly spooky when you like swap to daytime, but overall I feel like this mechanic of day and night time is overall good. I felt the boss fight was a little bit disappointing, but it kind of used the same mechanic as well with the day and night time, and how the enemy, this final boss, only showed in like the night time properly that you could defeat it, but it's not in the best of the Skylanders things. But overall it's interesting how they added this spooky level as DLC, and it kind of has its own little mini story as well. So there you go, there's just a small selection of some spooky levels in some non-spooky games that we'd like from various different types of games. I've been Panda, thank you for watching, remember to like and subscribe, and have a spooky Halloween! Also thanks to our Patreons and Twitch subscribers.